Hey everybody, I'm Scott Weichel. You're listening to My Kind of Country right here on MKOCRadio.com. I'm so glad this guy stopped by tonight to be on the show. He's one of my favorites. You've heard a lot of his songs on our station, and he's been on the show before. One of my very favorite songs, I Ain't Playing No Jason Aldean. I play that probably more than I should, but I love it. And I love this guy and his music. He's fantastic, and he's got an exciting announcement for us. We're going to talk about his latest album as well. This is Gary West. Gary, how are you tonight?
Brother Scott, I'm doing fantastic, buddy. It's nice to hear your voice.
Well, it's so great to hear from you, too. Thanks so much for taking time to come back on the show. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
Anytime. Thank you for having me on.
Anytime, man. You are always welcome. Your music always has a home on My Kind of Country. I can guarantee you that. And, folks, For the Love of Cash is fantastic music. You've heard it on our show. You can get it at GaryWestMusic.com. And Gary, you have got a brand new single off of this album. You got a video on YouTube. It's just really taken off for you, and it's a great song called Travelin', Man. Tell me about this great song.
Well, it was written by my good friend Mike Oldham in Nashville. He's a Nashville native, and he's just a fantastic songwriter. He wrote 3 songs on our latest CD, and Travel Man is probably one of my favorites. We have some of the guys from the Brian Setzer Orchestra on there. We have 14 pieces of brass on it, and it's a little bit different. And a lot of folks say, well, you do Johnny Cash. What's Gary West sound like? So, we do have 5 originals on this latest CD it's called For the Love of Cash Volume 2. So we have 5 Cash songs, and we have 5 originals, and Mike wrote this particular one, and it's really exciting. We filmed this out at Johnny Cash's farm in Bon Aqua, Tennessee. They have a museum and his hideaway farm that he owned for over 30 years, I think nearly 32 years. He owned it, up to the time when he passed away, and he referred to it as his the center of his universe. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. If your fans out there have a chance to visit Nashville, man, I encourage you, if you want to get away from the hustle and bustle of downtown and go see something spectacular, it's only about 38 miles or so outside of Nashville. It's in Bon Aqua, Tennessee, and it's called Storytellers. And he has a farm there, a beautiful place, and they also have concerts out there in an amazing venue, in an amazing setting. Last year we were fortunate enough to get to open up their concert season for them. And so it was all filmed out there, and my buddy Mark Cash, Tommy's son, you probably know Mark Allen Cash.
Yeah.
He was in the video, just as fun, just because we're buddies. And I said, hey, man, would you come down and be in this video with us? He goes, okay.
Oh, that's
so
great.
We had a lot of fun, and you can see the video on YouTube, and I think you get a kick out of the song.
Absolutely, it's a great song, and it's got a full sound, man. I love all the horns in there and everything, and it's you just can't help but be drawn in when you listen to that song. It's a lot of fun.
Kind of reminds you that my buddy said he kind of reminds me of the Elvis days.
Yeah.
Elvis put the brass to it. And I love the horns, and they did a fantastic job. And I don't get to use them all the time live, that's for sure. But next Saturday we're actually going to get an opportunity to do that. We're playing a thing here in beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota, at one of the largest and oldest venues. It's called Caboose, and it's been there for about 42 years, and it's mainly a rock venue. I think Puff Daddy played there this weekend, but they have a thing every year called Cashed Out, and we're honored to be invited to play that, and we're going to be there with 3 other Cash-type bands, so it should be a lot of fun.
Outstanding. Hey, that sounds like a lot of fun. Well, I'm going to check out that Johnny Cash farm next. We're going down in March again, and we're always looking for things like that. And it's nice to get out and see some of that kind of stuff you wouldn't normally get a chance to visit when you're down there. So we'll check that out. That's cool.
Scott, you can spend a whole day there. It's just a beautiful place to bring your family. And there's several cars there. The One Piece at a Time Cadillac lives there. Johnny's last Mercedes-Benz that he drove for 18 years is there. June's car is there. I think Johnny Paycheck's limousine is there. It's really a great place to visit.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we'll check that out. That sounds really cool. Well, I was talking to Johnny Counterfeit. I had him on the show last week, and he was talking about he's got a new album out of songs he's written in his own voice and everything. And you go out and do a lot of wailing, you do a lot of Merle, you do a lot of Johnny Cash, and it takes a lot of talent to be able to emulate that kind of a style and that kind of a voice, and you've got to have amazing control. And so it leads me to believe that you're a darn good singer in your own right. So I'm really glad to see that you've put some of your own music and your own songs on these projects.
Well, thank you. And we actually have scheduled to put out a new EP of just Gary West music by the end of the year. So things are really busy. Our schedule's filling up, and as I'm looking at it, I'm going, okay, where do I get in the studio here? You know, because I'm trying to let my dates come in first, and where I have some holes, trying to figure it out and get in the studio. But we are really excited about putting out a brand new CD of just Gary West music as well.
Outstanding. Well, you make sure and get me one, and I'll be sure to play it. I can guarantee you that. And
you know I will.
and
Thank you for playing. I Ain't Playing No Jason Aldean.
Oh man, I love that song so much, and you know it just personifies what we're all about here at this show, and every time I listen to it, it just really tickles me. I mean, nothing against the new country music, but call a spade a spade. You know, there's nothing wrong with it, but
well, you
please.
know, and I've got a little beef over it from time to time. I actually found a thing the other day on YouTube where, you know, they take your music and they put it on YouTube, and I've seen people on there arguing and saying just you know, dog cussing me, and it's like, have you listened to the song? And you know, I've got a kind heart, I really do, and I wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings, including Jason Aldean's, for nothing in the world. But it doesn't say anything bad about Jason Aldean. It really is just talking about me, and basically I'm an old guy, and I'm not going to play that. That's not my bag, you know. And I'll leave that to him.
There you go. Well, you know, I always tell people, you know, my music's been around a lot longer than yours. It's going to be there after yours. Come back and talk to me in 20 years. Let's see where you're at, you know.
That's kind of like Ray Price said. He goes, let's see if anybody remembers you in 80 years.
That's right. That's right. Amen to that. Well, you've got a pretty big announcement that you're going to be adding to your shows this year, and I want my listeners to hear this right from the source today.
Well, thanks, man. We're pretty excited about it. Something we have been talking about for quite some time. We get a lot of people have asked about it. We've actually had buyers for fairs and festivals and asked us if we thought about doing this. And after a lot of talk, you know, actually it was just, you know, a couple nights ago, we decided, what are we waiting on, and why are we not doing it? And so we are going to present a Waylon tribute show, and it's called Remembering Waylon. It's that simple, Remembering Waylon tribute show, and so we'll offer the For Love of Cash show, and we're also going to offer the Remembering Waylon show. So we're excited about doing it. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll be able to, you know, return to some places. Sometimes, you know, you'll play a fair or festival, and they don't want to have that type of thing back to back. So it gives us the opportunity to come back, and the next year we can do a different type of tribute show. So we're looking forward to doing it. Really excited about playing it.
Well, that's fantastic. And you have a very high energy band. You guys are fantastic. You put on a great show. So I have no doubt that this is going to be something you definitely want to go and see, without a doubt.
I've got a great crew of guys. You know, all the guys in the band are all former Grand Ole Opry artists, musicians, and J.D. Hatfield has been playing harmonica with me for about a year now, and I don't know if you realize or remember him, but he played with Del Reeves his entire career, at least what I can remember in the last probably 30 years or so that he performed. J.D. Hatfield played harmonica. And if you're going to play Waylon stuff, you got to have steel guitar, but man, you got to have that harmonica puffing over there.
You got to have that. You got to have that Ralph Mooney steel guitar sound going too.
Absolutely. So we're glad to have JD with us. He's a character. He's a lot of fun. If you've been onto our Facebook, Gary West Music on Facebook, you've seen him on the bus doing crazy things. He put on what he called his prescription glasses. Did you see that? And he's got these big thick glasses on. He's got prescription bottles on the side of him. He is a card, buddy. Let me tell you, the folks enjoy him because you never know what he's going to do or say. He's a lot of fun.
That's great. You know, Del Reeves was a great guy. He did something really cool. You can share this with JD. You probably get a kick out of it. Some years ago, I was watching Country's Family Reunion show, and Del Reeves was on there, and he did this song called "The Only Girl I Can't Forget." And,
oh, yeah.
And I only saw it on that show the one time, and I had never heard the song. and
Really?
it blew me away so much that after hearing it one time, I remembered most of it, and I went around, I kept singing this, and I could at this time, we didn't have, excuse me, as much of the internet and stuff as we do now, and I couldn't find it, and so I finally wrote to him. And I said, I'm looking for the song. What's it on? Can I get it? And lo and behold, he sends me a CD that he re-recorded a bunch of his songs, and it was on
Yes.
there. And he sent it to me and signed it and everything. And I thought,
Oh,
how cool is that? And then later, I found out that was actually his first hit record in 1962. And
yep.
some years later, I found the original 45 of that song, and to this day, that's my favorite Del Reeves song, "The Only Girl I Can't Forget."
Well, that's quite a treasure right there, and to have him to send it to you, I love that song. And I played with Del Reeves. He was the first one that I worked with when I came to Nashville, and the first time I worked at Grand Ole Opry, and he was my hero. I played his music from the time I was 10 years old, and my dad was a truck driver and a mechanic, and I remember I'd be playing drums in my room, and my dad would come in here and go, "Cowboy, turn that off. I'm trying to watch the news," And I'm like, "Hey, Dad, let me play." I'd be playing Fog Hat or something, and he said, "Well, if you put that Del Reeves album on and turn it down a little bit, I guess you can play." And I'd play to live at the Palomino Club in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh yeah, I've got that record. I got it. Yeah.
What a record! What a show! And what a showman, man! He was the entertainer's entertainer, and they said that about him and Jimmy Dickens as well. And so I went to a good school, and I love Del Reeves. He was my hero.
That's wonderful. He was fantastic. I play a lot of his music. I got to pull out that Palomino record and listen to it now. I've got that in my collection. That's so cool.
I actually thought about recording A Dozen Pair of Boots. I don't know if you've ever heard.
Oh yeah, you should. That's a great song. Absolutely.
I just don't want those songs to be forgotten about. They're such great songs. It hurts me that they just get shoved back in the pile and forgotten about, and they should be heard.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Somebody else, they should be heard.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm going to pull that out and play it now. I have so many records, and it's so cool for me as not only as a DJ but a musical connoisseur to go back and listen to these records. And there's so many great songs on albums that just never became hits, and I'm like, man, that's a great song. I'm going to play it on my show. This is a great song, I'm going to play it. And so I've got an endless supply of material. I never run out of music. So
yeah, and a lot of those songs could have been hits. Dozen Pair of Boots, I don't know why it wasn't a hit.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd ever released it as a single or not, but man, what a song.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of them like that. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I get a lot of my music that way from people. They'll mention a song or something like that, and I'll pull it out and start playing it. So there we go.
Well, you're a walking encyclopedia when it comes to that stuff. That's for sure.
Oh, I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Well, Gary, I sure appreciate you taking time to be on the show. GaryWestMusic.com is the website. He's got tons of tour dates there, folks, and I want you to pick up his album For the Love of Cash. There's Volume 1 and Volume 2, the latest one, which, of course, includes Travelin' Man and I Ain't Playing No Jason Aldean, and we're going to play those here in just a minute for you. And I want you to go catch his show, and especially this new Waylon tribute show, Remembering Waylon. I think that's a fantastic project. Wish you the best, Gary, and I'm always here for you anytime I can help promote your career.
Oh, buddy, thank you so much for your kindness. I sincerely appreciate it. We're just we're independent, and we need folks like you, and we appreciate your support more than you know. And the folks out there that come to our shows, we couldn't be more flattered when they come and visit and then come back again. And we love seeing them. So any of those folks out there, I encourage you to go to Facebook and you can go to Gary West Music, which you can friend me also at just Gary West. And we do a lot of fun, crazy things on there. As you know, we're always doing something stupid on the bus and doing videos or whatever and acting a fool. So we have a lot of fun, and we like to have fun with our friends as well.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun. I try to get in on those when I'm on there, and I enjoy chatting with you back and forth. It's a lot of fun. And please visit GaryWestMusic.com and go see Gary in concert. Gary, thanks so much for being on the show, buddy. It's good talking with you, and we're going to play some of your great music for the listeners right now in My Kind of Country. Be safe, and we'll talk to you again soon, Gary.
Thanks a lot, Scott. You be safe, buddy.
Baby, don't don't try to hold me down, I'll drag you around this big old town. There ain't much that I ain't seen, staying home just makes me mean. I'm a traveling man, I'm a traveling man. I'll see you when I can, I'm a traveling man. On the boat and sail the seas, comes as natural as you please. Fly across that desert sand, that's what I do, 'cause I'm a traveling man. I'm a traveling man, I'm a traveling man. I'll see you when I can, I'm a traveling man. With the wagon train, he rode through the snow and the sleet and rain, told those traveling tales to me. Guess that's how I was born to be an old traveling man. I'm a traveling man. I'll see you when I can, I'm a traveling man. Don't grow on the sole of my shoes. I travel around and I sing the blues. If you wanna be with me, you better pack your bags, 'cause I'm about to leave. I'm a traveling man, I'm a traveling man. I'll see you when I can, I'm a traveling man. I'm a traveling man, I'm a traveling man. I'll see you when I can, I'm a traveling man.